Everyone. This is lesson 1.4, research design, and we're going to take a look today, and our objective is students will be able to explain the process of determining which research design to use. So we just spent some time talking about the experimental method, we talked about survey, case study, naturalistic observation, but which one do you choose when you're doing scientific research? And we're going to take a close look at that today.
So one question we asked ourselves when we are trying to figure out what research method we want to use would be something along the lines of, can a laboratory experiment actually tell us something about real everyday life? Essentially, what we're trying to figure out is validity, or is it valid? So when we're taking a look at whether or not something is valid, that means, is our study measuring what we want it to measure? So if we are conducting a research study and we ask this question to ourselves, and the answer for this particular study is no, well, then we probably don't want to use a laboratory experiment. If the answer is yes, then we probably do want to use a laboratory experiment. So which research method do I want to use? In addition to the question that we just asked on the previous slide, we actually want to go through a series of questions to determine which research method would be best for us to use. And the first research question that we would probably ask ourselves is time and money. Do we have a lot of time to do an in-depth study, or do we need the results quickly? Do we need to have, or do we have a lot of money to spend, or do we only have a few dollars to spend? That's going to impact our research methods. Ethical issues. How can I study this ethically? Can I ethically watch people in their natural environment, or do I need to get pre-approved permission and study them in a laboratory? Let me pull this down a little bit so that way you guys can see everything at the same time. There we go. Third question I may want to look at is the operational definitions. And this isn't a question so much as just defining them. How am I going to measure this? Can I conduct a survey? Can I do a naturalistic observation? Or do I need to do an experiment? By defining how exactly you plan on measuring it, it also might narrow down what research methods you could or could not use. And finally, we're going to take a look at, are there confounding variables that I need to be aware of? So is there anything that may impact my study? And if so, is there a way that I can manipulate that so it does not? So is a certain research method better than another research method? By looking at these 4 questions, I can then narrow down which research method may be the best for me to use.